it's worth saying, Wayne, it won't be popular with people, that because we haven't got a national register, that those young people who aren't in school may be getting high quality home education, but some may not, and we might not know exactly what's happening. And what will be they might just be prone to is falling into gang culture and drugs and so on and so forth. And that's why I think the emphasis on as many young people being where they need to be educated about subjects, but also to socialise with other young people and all the benefits that schools give. That's the most important thing I think society can do to prepare young people for them to take their place as adults in the future.
That's quite a strong statement to make, Geoff, isn't it? Insinuating that children who are homeschooled could fall into knife culture, gang culture and crime.
Well, it's not as strong. It's simply a statement.
Well, it is. If you've got no evidence to back that up,
we have got evidence of that. So, for example,
what evidence?
So I'm based here in Suffolk, Wayne, as you know, but I represent 25,000 school and college leaders, and I travel around the country. The most striking example of this was in a leafy part of Yorkshire, where a head teacher of a really good school was concerned that there was absenteeism from some of their young people. It wasn't because of homeschooling. The kids were simply not turning up at school. And what they found out through the police is that those youngsters were being used as drugs mules. In other words, they were being paid £40 to carry drugs from one side of the town to the other side of the town. Now, what I'm not saying is every child who a parent is saying is being homeschooled is doing that. But what I am saying is, because we haven't got a national register where parents have to register their child and say, actually, I am homeschooling my child, how do we know that those who aren't attending school today are safe? And we have a responsibility. So it might sound a tough statement, but ultimately we all have a responsibility as adults to protect those young people who can fall victim to things they really shouldn't be falling victim to.
All those children you just talked about there being drugs mules, the police told you they were all homeschooled or weren't in school?
They were certainly not in school. I think we've just got to be careful.
So there's a big difference, then, isn't there, between being home educated and not going to school, being true.
Correct.
There's a big difference.
And that's my point. But what I would say,
so you haven't got evidence. You haven't got evidence to back up your statement, then, have you? That if you are home educated, you could fall into crime and gang culture, because any child at school, even with a good education, can fall prey to gang culture and crime.
Absolutely. I think probably, Wayne, we're trying to say the same thing here. I don't think we're being quite as controversial as people might think. What I'm saying is, if you're not in school, it might be because you're being home educated, but we don't know whether other things might be going on. And that's why having a national register for every young person, so if they're not turning up at school today, I don't have to worry about it because actually the parent has registered they are going to homeschool. That means we can feel more secure, and that means we can focus on those who aren't turning up and we don't know where they are. And that's the most important thing, I think, I'm trying to say.